begins where the moment ends. The other night, this feeling of restlessness came over me. And the funny part is that I fell asleep on the couch. But when I finally went to lay down, this strange kind of reach in, a searching started to happen. It felt like my mind was reaching for something, a solution, and I didn't recognize it at first. My mind was reaching for a solution, anything to hold on to. Then the feeling of anxiousness started building up in my body. I could feel it. I could feel it in my body. And I don't know if anyone can relate. It's this restlessness, this anxiousness. Maybe it's after a long day at work, a long day period. I became aware of something in that moment, laying on the bed. Expectations create anxiety. And even intentions, things we set with the best of hope, can bring tension. Intention can bring tension. And that tension, it builds up in the body. This energy that creates a restlessness. And we name it sometimes. We name it stress. Sometimes there's this feeling of nervousness that comes with that. But as I was laying on the bed in that moment, I remembered I can't explain. The best way I can explain this is that I remembered. It's as if something whispered to me, nothing exists outside of you. And I'm whispering this back to you. Nothing exists outside of you. So what we experience can only exist in us. And in that moment, this brought a sense of power back to the moment, because I was being pulled, or not I, but the thoughts were pulling, and I felt like I was being pulled into it. But I remember nothing exists outside of you. And that brought a sense of power back to the moment. And I know that feelings of anxiousness, they feel like they're happening to you, like something external has come in and taken over. When you really look deeper, you'll notice when your attention turns inward towards the self, home, everything naturally becomes quiet. There's no story, there's no pulling your energy in 1,000 directions. There's just a natural sense of being. Because where your focus goes, your energy flows. I can be on the phone talking with someone, and I can feel the shift in their energy just talking to them. I'm not looking at them. I'm talking to them on the phone, and I can feel the shift of their energy. The attention is somewhere else. And sometimes you say, "Are you there?" And they say, yeah, I'm here. And they're coming back to the moment. So where your focus is, your energy flows there. And maybe that's why, as sensitive souls, some of us are very sensitive souls. I've heard it labeled as empaths. You're very empathetic. You feel deeply. Maybe that's why someone experiencing this can feel so drained. So often you keep getting pulled into other situation. Your attention keeps leaving the moment, scattering into thoughts that aren't even here, the what ifs. Sometimes in awakening, the grief of having people around you and recognizing that they are still on a level, an unconscious, a lower conscious level, and you care for them. And that can sometimes pull us away from the moment. That can pull us away from the moment. Maybe in the form of worrying about others we care about so much. And so when we get scattered like that, we have left the moment. We have left the moment. Anxiety begins when we leave the moment. That's when anxiety slips in. The mind senses where your attention is and it starts creating stories around it. And suddenly we're caught up in thinking or naming it, I'm losing my mind. And sometimes we're not losing our minds, we just can't catch up to the mind. We're trying to run after the mind, we're chasing the mind, and we say we're losing it. But what's really happening is that we've just lost the moment. You're no longer here. I'll frame it like this: you're no longer in your body, in your breath is better. And that's the only place. Here is where peace lives. But even in the anxiety is the imaging of the mind. Imagination, and imagination can only exist in us. This is conscious awareness. And on an unconscious level, we think we are our thoughts. We get attached to our thoughts. We cling to them. We name them. We chase them. But when we do that, we're no longer observing our thoughts. We're being carried away by them. So how the story ended for me was that night I just simply lay there. I was empowered by nothing exists outside of you. I remembered that I was empowered, so I just laid there. I didn't try to stop my thoughts, but I wasn't following them. I was observing them. And I simply remembered that the moment is enough because I identified what was pulling me out of the present moment. I did. So I just simply stopped trying to change it in that moment, not trying to fight the feeling or fix it in any way. Just being. For me, that's what mindfulness really is: observing without attaching, watching what's happening within you, but not letting it define you. Mindfulness. It's kind of like minding, minding yours, minding yours, being here, not being pulled out. And I remember who I am. And that is, I am not the thoughts. You know what's coming to me right now? Sometimes what people think of us, we hold on to that. We take shape to that. And that pulls us out of the moment. That pulls us out of ourselves. That's why I'm always encouraging to know yourself so deeply that nothing can pull you away from that. And once you start remembering, and that's truth, when the truth lands, when it hits you, the feeling that it brings, it's as if you remembered it because it was always there. And that brought me back from overthinking back into presence. What I've learned is that being present means you're not doing. But I will say this, I find myself not always fully being in the moment. I do. I do find myself. But then I remember. And that's what's so beautiful about listening, knowing yourself so deeply that when your soul begins to guide you and pull you back in, you can hear this and you know this. And being fully present means being fully present. Being fully present means nothing needs to be fixed or improved. It only needs to be accepted. It only needs to be accepted. Because it belongs to you. It belongs to you. The moment can only exist in you, so it belongs to you. And that's what brings peace to any moment. Because you are the awareness of it. This is the awakening. You're not the mind. I am the awareness. The mind is the thinker of thoughts, but it becomes quiet when you observe it and not be led by it. The mind thinks, the heart knows. And what I'm realizing is that I'm not separate from this moment. The moment isn't some external event you're witnessing. The moment only exists in you. This moment, right now, is not the same for everyone else. You could be right next to someone looking at the same thing, but having a different experience. Isn't it so? Having a totally different experience. But when you realize that the moment can only exist in you, it changes something. It shifts your frequency, your vibe, and you feel that in your body. The tightness from anxiety lifts because now you're not running after your thoughts or trying to fix them. The thoughts that you're having, the imaginary thoughts, because they're not happening. You're trying to fix them. But we've returned to the self, to the moment. This is home. So I've learned when I feel anxiety or anxiousness, it's almost always because I have left the moment. I have reached too far ahead, chasing the thoughts, and I got lost in the nightmare of them. those negative ones, the nightmare of them. And when thoughts like that arise, because they always do, if you follow them, they pull you out of the moment into imagination. The way back is to realize that the present moment is already enough. Don't try to fix it. Let it belong to you. It might not be perfect. It won't always be perfect. The, the day might have not been what you expected it to be, but it is. It is. And when you accept it, you find peace in the moment. You find peace in the moment. I hope this helps, especially for those struggling with anxiety. I hope this helps. So share this with someone that might need to hear it. And thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Thank you.